Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of TheAscertainers. We think you just heard our theme music. At least that's what we're that's the current plan. It's been recorded. It's just a matter of whether or not we can add it to the thing. So if we sound like we have a little extra pep in our step, that's because of that. We'll get to that in a sec here. Just want to do a quick introduction as a who, what, why, where of TheAscertainers. It is the dynamic duo of Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Yes.
Oh, that's his thing now. All right. And Jim, that's me. We were next door neighbors for about 20 years. We live in the suburbs of Minneapolis. Both married, like to women and everything. We each have 2 kids for a total of 4. The What is just a run-of-the-mill podcast talking about music, sports, a little pop culture. Really don't plan on taking ourselves too seriously. Kind of want to keep things positive, and the name was derived from a Kids in the Hall sketch. Mark may fill you in on more of that later or in another episode.
Maybe.
The why is it's because we can, and kind of we basically just wanted to find an outlet to record ourselves drinking beer. But one of the kind of a side potential benefit is that we both recognize the fact that it seems like in this day and age that it's difficult to disagree without being disagreeable. So Mark and I we get along great despite agreeing on about 50% of things, especially musically. And we just think it'd be an okay idea to set an example for how to rag on a guy without canceling him. Just because.
Bring that up that honestly, you're the best co-host anybody could ever have. You're really good at this, and I love doing it with you. But I think I hurt your feelings.
Phrasing, and also I'm in the introduction. This feel like it's a slap shot when the ref turns to the guy all bloody. He goes, "I'm listening to the fucking song." Let me finish my intro before you start hazing me there, Mark.
I wasn't. I was. This was the offshoot of what you were talking about.
Oh.
And that the criticism last time, I think I hurt your feelings, but I did.
My feelings are not your play toy, my friend. No, you can hurt my feelings all you want. I'll just go upstairs and take my little doll that I made that looks like you, and I'll poke pins into it, and everything will be okay.
But the who and the why, I was just bringing that up.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, it's going to be a pretty chilly episode. Okay, so that's the why, and you can see a real good example of how we disagree so well. Anyway, the where is on a lot of pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. So if you're listening to this, obviously you found one of those. And just Google TheAscertainers, and that's where you'll find us. We're also always in your heart.
I thought the where was in your studio basement.
This is that's where it originates. But from here, we are recording this, right? I mean, that's what you told me.
I don't know, after that, me interrupting your intro, which is going to make you angry again.
Well, I'll just tell you, whose idea was it to have an intro?
He's pointing at me, but I don't.
It's your idea to have an intro.
And he thinks I'm very anal about things. So
I actually just learned that today, and now it all makes sense. It's like, wow, yeah. How about that?
This is like Festivus.
Yes.
We're just airing our grievances.
It pretty much is. So let's talk about the theme music. It was by a undiscovered act called Without a Net. And Annette is spelled Annette. Get it? It's a joke. But Without a Net. And the kind of the running gag is each week it'll be the same music with a different name for the band. So
Funicello?
Annette Funicello.
Beach Blanket Bingo?
Yeah, okay. Remember, you're the one who's going to be 60. I'm younger. I don't know who that is. But I do. And oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, you just punched me.
Velociraptor. Anyway, we're excited about the music. We can't thank the local artists that chipped in to make that happen on short notice. And maybe, I would love, what I loved it if local bands wanted to send us clips of their local or latest cutting room floor stuff that they thought, hey, we could just give this to y'all. That'd be fun. But I'm pretty loyal to our original guy, and it's his job to lose at this point. Meaning, he's probably going to go, you know what? If you're shopping it, I'll quit, and we'll just have the same song. But it's a pretty cool song, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it might be. People could send in songs, but it doesn't have to be our theme song.
Oh.
We can still have that, and then people bring in other songs.
All right. Well, I think we shouldn't compete against our only contributor at this point. So,
right.
Anyhow, Mark and I went golfing today, and that went pretty well. We knew it was after work for me round, so we knew we would only play 9, and it was both our first time out this year. I hadn't even gone to the range, and it reminded me when we were out there in jeans, because it's like 40 out. It's Minnesota weather. Spring is just not happened yet. And it reminded me of the movie Swingers, the opening the movie when they're out golfing. And I thought that was kind of funny. And how'd you do today, Mark? Did you play well?
I did not. I didn't play well the first half of 9, but I started catching you on the last holes until the Caddyshack downpour on the 8th hole that caught us with the lightning, and we were still out there. We were the last people off the course.
I was ahead of you, and I was going to wait for you to say, I give, and then that would be admitting defeat. But you felt you had a chance up until and through the 9th hole?
You were 6 shots up, and you were only 2 shots up at the end.
What's another word? What's another term for that? You lost
Victory.
by 2. You lost by 2. Okay, well. So you were losing by 6, and you only lost by 2. So that's probably a little victory for you.
Well, if we would have played 18, at the way things were going, you would have lost by 7.
Mm-hmm.
In my math, my head.
Is that what you'll be crying into your pillow tonight?
If it wasn't for the weather, I would have won.
The weather and the sun and the position of the earth at this time of year.
There was no sun.
Well, no, but it would have been dark by the time we got done had we played 18. I think close.
Yes.
Anyhow, it was fun getting out there. I enjoyed playing golf with a guy who is of a near equal ability or inability, however you want to say it.
In 2 years, I get the senior. We're 8.
Yeah, he literally was talking to the owner about how to. It's like it's a nice little course, but it's not expensive. Anyway, hey, Mark has a little something to get off his chest. I was thinking about calling this segment Mark's monologue, but apparently there was a. Do you want to just take it from here? Something about
it's one of our old neighbors. He listens to all our episodes, and he critiques our.
That's your old neighbor. He's my next door neighbor.
You're right.
You
I'm
moved
sorry.
away.
I did.
You were too cool. And
he's an Audie, and he listens to our podcast, and he critiques it.
An Audie means a person who's, we want to keep anonymous, but if you're an Audie, that means you're a great guy. If you're a Chumley, it means you're a dick. So you want to be an Audie, but he's an Audie.
And a couple episodes ago, he said that I slur when I get drunk, which I've already done a couple of times tonight. And he says I pronounce album, well, just like that, with an extra L. And I never noticed that I do that, but I really do that, and I can't stop.
But you didn't just then.
I did. I said album. There's a little bit of an L in there.
The second L?
Yeah. Album. Like lip balm. Album.
And that's
I thank him for listening that closely to picking that stuff up.
Oh, so you got out-analed. Ooh, that phrasing.
Did we bring that up? How?
No, we talked about how I just discovered that you're far more anal, which is I think a psychological trait or whatever, not a preference. It's not a choice, but anyway, you proclaim that you are kind of that today, and that it kind of all made sense to me. And I've always thought about Audie, the Audie that you're talking about, as a perfectionist. And I don't think of you as a perfectionist, but
On certain
maybe I
things.
should. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm being the engineer on this wonderful podcast.
And how your selection of talent partner, I mean, that was a toughie, I bet. Was I the last guy you asked?
No, you were the first guy, and you said yes, and I said, I shouldn't have asked him first.
Yeah, that's like when you got sports tickets, and it's like, okay, I want to ask all the people that I know are going to say no first, so I get credit. And then all of a sudden, one of them goes, I think I can, and then you're like, oh, God damn it. Now you can't ask anybody else until this idiot says, oh, yeah, sorry, my wife won't let me, or something like that.
But even though I interrupted your introduction, I really think you're perfect for podcasting. And, you know, the why is because we really enjoy this. I know it doesn't come across like that, but I don't know.
I'm going to leave you hanging for a little bit.
I'm ranting.
I like doing it. It's like, well, it's life is short, and it's
I'm waiting for you to say, "Oh, you're the greatest partner," but I haven't got that back yet. I'll wait.
Write it down, Mark. Write it down. You're swell, Mark. Same. Same. Ditto.
How'd the date go? Good.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mark is my favorite former neighbor named Mark. Is that moving the dial for you there?
You mean
That's a little bit of that's a borderline Chumbly story. If only we could do that. We have to figure out how to edit that out so no feelings are hurt or whatever. But there was a neighbor when Mark was my next door neighbor. Well, fuck it, let's just go into it.
No, I don't think we should. I didn't mean to bring that story up because feelings could get. I don't know. He might listen to it.
I think that his feelings, maybe, should be hurt because he hurt our feelings that day. It's not about feelings being hurt. It was just kind of an awkward way. Here's so the jig is this. The jig, can I say that? Is that a thing?
The jig is up.
Yeah, but that's usually when something that goes awry. Well, this went awry. So what happened is that we had this new person who we'll call Audie move in across the street back when Mark was my neighbor. This actually would be good for ratings. We'll know who's listening now. And the new guy moves in, and I had forgotten his name. So I'm talking to Mark, like by the mailbox or whatever, and Mark asked me, he says, "Do you know his name?" And I'm like, "Oh shoot, I forgot it too. Let's go, and I'll introduce you, and then he'll say his name, and then we'll know, and it'll be fine." And we didn't even think anything. We thought we were just
we thought we figured it out. We
were sleuths. We were good to go. So I walk over, and I go, "Hey, Mike." No, I didn't say hey, Mike. I couldn't have said Mike.
I'm so sorry. I just can't. We might have to edit this part out. Oh. It's going to be 10 minutes of us laughing.
Why is that so funny? I almost blacked out. Did you hear all of the... it sounds like the whistle laughs. Anyway, there's no way I could have known his name at the time because we did know his name, but and of course all names are fictitious here, so so we we go over and I said, "Hey, have you met Mark?" And he goes, "Hey, Mark." That's you. I can use your name, right?
He goes,
and I'm like, that's where you're supposed to say your name in my head, and he didn't. And then finally, I got a little pissed because it was like, come on, man, just have normal, like, interaction, and then I'm starting to feel bad. and I said, dude, I got to be honest, I forgot your name, and I thought I'd bring him over, and I'd introduce you, and then you would, tell us who you are, and then we would, be friends and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, my name's just like his."
It's a very common name.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he goes, "It's a very common name." And it was really funny because, not as funny as what you just did.
Oh, shit. I was worried about myself there. Pardon my language, this is supposed to be somewhat clean. That laugh, I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time.
But you start naming off, he goes, "It's a very common name," and you just start naming Jim, Steve, John, Craig.
Oh, that's right. And then he goes, "No, it's like his."
Right, yeah.
And I go, "Is it fucking Mark?" like a polite conversation goes. And he goes, "No, it's Audie." And then we went, "Oh, okay, Audie." And then we just left. So anyway, turns out he's a nice guy, but that
Very
was
nice.
Really...
it was awkward.
That was, but memorable. So sometimes
It
the
was.
more jacked up a situation is, the better the story is. And who knew? How about this? How about whenever something bad happens? And it's like, one day we'll laugh about this. Because if I would have told you that day, you would have said, yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen. And I had one of the literally top 5 laughs of my entire life just then. So thanks, Audie. Appreciate you. Keep being you. Keep doing you.
Yeah. If I can add the music and edit some of this, would be great.
We'll see. If we don't have music, we're screwed, buddy. We can't put it out. I was told that all you have to do is drag and drop, and I just thought that was
What
a funny.
the hell does that mean?
I thought that was a funny phrase. I only thought about as we get older.
Put a dress on and go to the bathroom? What?
That's what happens. A little drag and drop. All right. I have a public service announcement. We'll just make this real serious, real quick. To anyone out there, and we love all 29 of you, that uses the word myriad, God bless you. And I have only one thing to tell you, that it's just myriad. Thank you. The word myriad is the same as the word many. Now, let me say the word many, how people say myriad. Oh, I've used that in many ways. A myriad, a many of ways. No, it's just, I use that in myriad ways. You don't say a myriad. There's no such thing as a myriad. Just like there's no such thing as a many.
Would you say I have a plethora of presents?
I think plethora. I don't know how that one works as much as I know myriad.
That's from Three Amigos.
Oh my God.
Where he's asking his partner, who doesn't know English very well, "Do you think I have a plethora?"
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, I've never seen that movie. I don't know why. I love Steve Martin. I love all the individual. Who's it? Steve Martin, Martin Short, and
Chevy Chase.
That was why, because I was down on Chevy there for a while.
Wow.
But anyhow, so if you do say the word myriad, go ahead and do yourself and the whole rest of the world a favor. Go ahead and Google the word myriad and how it's used, and stop saying a myriad of, because it's just wrong. Now, if I just offended all of our listeners and we don't wind up with attracting more, well, that's on me, Mark. I apologize.
Do you know how many times I've used a myriad as a... No, yeah, it didn't mean to upset you by saying game.
You son of a bitch.
But other than tonight,
you never used the word myriad?
never.
Well, now you want to use it, and you want to use it right. Oh, correctly. Sorry. I have so I was raised.
Me speak good English.
At the dinner table, it was just such a fun, free-flowing conversation with my mom correcting every second word. It's like, Andy and I went to the store. It's like, I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story there, Ma. So we were, so I kind of had it beaten into me to be a language, like a snob or police. And my kids are the same way, and it's kind of cool, but also I'm surprised they don't get beat up more. What are you doing with your thing?
I'm pushing my mic away. I'm a little bit louder.
Mark now has a fancy new mic stand, and we have purchased a third set of, I guess, microphone and headset, and we're ready for guests for the show. I'd love to be able to call in. I don't think we're that smart, but we'll just have people stop by.
Well, Joe Rogan's already texted me. And
Joe who?
Joe Rogan. Am I slurring again?
I'm not familiar with his word.
He's an up-and-comer that you might hear of him later.
Up-and-comer.
Phrasing.
Okay. So, let's see. My rant's out of the way. Yours is, you're doing fine. You got your thing off your chest about halfway through, if I'm not mistaken. Here's some topic suggestions: Kevin Smith movies, White Snake, Aerosmith, and the Kentucky Derby. What do you want to talk about?
Well, Kevin Smith, like I said, I thought Swingers was a Kevin Smith movie.
I don't think it is.
And Clerks, I never saw. I haven't seen any Kevin Smith that I know of.
Why? I mean, it sounds like you're intentionally avoiding it.
Well, I guess we could go into your...
Why I don't watch certain movies?
Yeah, phobia.
The
or
rules?
What would that be that you just... It's a bizarre thing. But go ahead and try to explain it so people understand.
No.
You don't like epics?
I don't. Generally, if there are more than 2 horses that aren't racing, or 1 spaceship, or 2 bows and arrows, I'm not going to like the movie.
So, 2 horses not racing. So
like Secretariat was cool. I like that movie.
And Ben-Hur. Because they were racing in there.
There's a lot of bow and arrows in that movie. Got to go to the next criteria.
No, what bow and arrows?
Wasn't there a lot of fighting and stuff in that movie?
The ships, but they were just ramming speed.
All right, well, I can see why you like that movie. I will research Ben-Hur. I didn't.
It took me a second.
Every second is precious in a time like that. So I would say that I will look up Ben-Hur, or is it Ben-Him? Whatever. But yeah, that's known for its chariot racing, yes? So those horses are racing, so that movie would not be disqualified. But yeah, I'm not a big epic guy. Don't care for him. It's over 3 hours, you know.
But see, I think that's it's okay for you, but you criticize me for not watching Kevin Smith, or is that his name?
Yeah.
Movies.
I don't criticize you for it. I'm just thinking you're missing out. I think you'd enjoy them.
Off air, you criticize me. You called me a loser.
I berated you. I called you a chumley.
Yeah, so we can't really talk about Kevin Smith movies.
I don't think that all Kevin Smith movies are great. I wasn't terribly fond of Chasing Amy, but I think that Clerks was phenomenal. There was one called like Dogma or something, which I thought was kind of funny. Who I really like is Jay and Silent Bob, and Jay and Silent Bob's like Big Adventure or something was a movie too. And
was that any good?
It's all right. It was entertaining. It had Will Ferrell was in it, which is always a treat. But it was a fringe movie. It wasn't mainstream necessarily.
Did you do the Minnesota movie?
Yes.
The
Mallrats. Yes, that was actually his first movie, Mallrats. And he worked. There are certain people that work with him on a lot of stuff. They'll be in different things, and Yeah, I think you should give him a look. The dialogue is typically, it's kind of like funny Tarantino. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you saying Tarantino's not funny?
I'm saying Tarantino is not meant to be funny, but his dialogue is engaging, and some of it he even wrote. I hear he stole a lot of stuff, or
Really?
borrowed a lot. Yeah, like
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Pulp Fiction was criticized or scrutinized.
Have you seen all the Tarantino?
No, I wasn't a big Kill Bill guy. I only watched one of them.
I wasn't either.
I think Dust to Dawn. No, what's the one with Brad Pitt in it? Not the vampire one. You like the vampire one, George Clooney.
No, I like Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, I love Reservoir Dogs.
That's one of my favorite. Until Hateful Eight came out.
Did you like The Hateful Eight?
I love the Hateful Eight.
So did I. I watched The Hateful Eight in a movie with like 6 other people in it, and I was the lightest pigmented person in there. Let's just say that. And there was a lot of the N-word flying around, and I was feeling a little awkward. So anyway,
he does in all of his movies.
And actually, I saw the Pulp Fiction in the theater for the first time I saw Pulp. It was the theater, Mall of America, and I was also for my row anyway. So when Marvin met his demise, do you remember Marvin?
Oh, was that the young kids? And
I just shot Marvin in the face.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah. So it was.
I like Marvin.
It was kind of like a long hesitation before everyone laughed. It was kind of very an awkward silence.
I like Pulp Fiction, but I didn't think it was one of his best movies.
I don't know why that surprises me.
Do you think that's better than Reservoir Dogs?
Absolutely. Pulp Fiction was like 3 different movies.
Yes.
So Res Dogs, like I said, I think I said this before. It could have and probably maybe started off as a play. It's on one soundstage.
I always said that. Yes.
It's like A Few Good Men, same kind of a thing, where it's almost all the stuff is in the courtroom, all the meaningful scenes. So anyway, what are we doing? We were talking about Kevin Smith and how funny Jay and Silent Bob.
You know you slur your words when you're drunk.
I'm not drunk. I don't drink. But it is Cinco de Mayo. We're recording this on May 5th. Cinco de Mayo fell on the 5th again this year. And I'm drinking a Modelo Especial in the bottle, and it's got the foil on the top. We talked about foiled back when Lowenbrow used to have the artwork on this, the font or whatever. It's striking. So here's to you.
You haven't turned your vibration off.
I know, and you know what? The neighbors, they must have heard us talking about Audie.
Somebody's Audie on his way over.
Somebody's looking for chairs, and it's like, oh, everyone's going to weigh in on this, and then there's going to be some inappropriate memes center. Yeah, this is going to be going on for a while. I better just turn it all the way off. There we go.
Wow.
Velociraptor.
I'm going to have to work on the audio even
Remember the
more.
thing I did beforehand? I wonder what this sounds like. What song is this? Iron. All right, anyway. Sorry, that was...
Did we blow out your eardrums?
So we thought about a thing, a new bit, and I don't think we'll do it this week because we'll have to do it next week. So there's a radio station in town called KQRS. I hope that we don't have to pay them for saying their name on the radio, but they've been playing the same stuff since I moved to the cities, which have been the mid '80s. So what the bit will be is that next episode we'll flip a coin, and whoever gets it wrong has to pick first. Or no, whoever gets it right gets to pick first, and you have to name a band, and then so if, let's say I got it right, I would say the Cars, and then Mark would say
Moody Blues.
Why wouldn't you? Let's just do it right now. Okay, we'll do this. So I'll say the Cars. I'm gonna write these down, and you got the Moody Blues. I'll go. I know it sounds like I'm drinking a 40-pound.
Hit the hi-hat.
All right, Cars, Moody. I'm going to say Van Halen.
Oh, I got to come up with another one?
Yeah, you need 3 total.
Aerosmith. I shouldn't say that because we
just heard them. Yeah, I'm going to give you that, but otherwise, next time I won't be so nice.
And you said Van Halen?
Yeah.
Oh.
So don't say Van Halen or the Cars. That's how the game works.
The Cars. Van Halen. Moody Blues.
You already did that.
Boston.
Boston. Nice. I'm going to go with the Police.
Wow.
And you need one more.
Let's say...
I think you just started saying the right one.
I was going to say Led Zeppelin.
I think that's a great... Between that and Skinner. Now, I will go over to the headphones. Actually, I don't got to even go over to them. They're right here.
So
the bit is that they've been playing the same music for, ever. So between 6 guesses that we should be able to get what's playing right now on that station. So I'm going to take my headphones off. I'm going to put on these headphones. I mean, it's a commercial.
He doesn't even know the band.
The Black Crowes. Well, it sucks. Who's going to guess the Black Crowes? Let's see who the next one. It's the end of the song. All right, keep talking because I'm listening to the thing here. All right, okay.
Back in the 70s, it was actually the Minnesota's best, I'm going to say the word again, album rock.
What, KQ?
Yeah.
They still, for album rock's sake, they're still...
Because they used to not play the 45, at least they said. They didn't play the 45s. They would just go right to that.
Do you think you could tell?
I know, but that was just a commercial.
I think some bands cut different length for
they
the 45. Do. Fascinating. This is riveting. Let's see. You said something you want to talk about Aerosmith. What the hell was that? Let me see if there's another song in here. Hang on. Keep talking.
The Aerosmith was... I love old Aerosmith.
The Clash. All right. This is a terrible premise. We'll have to work on that for next week. Keep going.
Yeah, the Aerosmith, when they came out with that, Love in the Elevator, and...
I think the album was called Pump.
Oh, it was so bad. And it was so popular.
You know what? Some people could say the same for ZZ Top. The ZZ Top purists will say that when they came out with the Gimme All Your Lovin' and Sharp Dressed Man. But I will say this, that ZZ Top, I saw a great documentary on them called that little band from Texas or something like that. And they are the most chill dudes. I love ZZ Top. But they basically were just evolving or die, So they got this new thing called MTV. So they went out and they got the...
Right.
And ZZ Top went on the road with, they brought a circus with them. They had literally, longhorn steers, and they had monkey. They had all this wildlife with them. It was like a zoo on the road with them as part of this, their whole stage show. But anyway, so when it decided that it was videos, they said, we're going to get the best of the best, and he's going to make videos for us. And it worked out pretty well for him. But you don't care that you didn't like when Aerosmith did the same.
And I guess ZZ Top, because if you look back, I don't even know who Dustin. No, it's not Dustin. The lead guitarist. It's
Billy Gibbons.
Billy. It's always cold after the rain. That song, the guitar.
Oh, he's a
virtuoso. It was just awesome. I mean, it was just phenomenal.
So the name of my unrequired memorization skills. Drummer is Frank Beard, who's the only guy without a beard. Dusty Hill, is a bass player who just passed away recently, and pour one out for old Dusty. And then Billy Gibbons. And Billy Gibbons is probably in his mid-70s. And he's playing away. Really cool stuff. Aerosmith. Joe Perry is up there with the Brian Mays of a guy that just looks like a guitar player.
Yes.
I mean, he's even got the abs and stuff going there. So that's cool.
And what was their nickname?
The Toxic Twins?
Yeah.
How those guys are alive. Although Steve Perry, have you seen Steve Perry try to walk? He looks like a South Park character. His knees are so shot that he actually looks like you walking around. Your knees are shot as well. Why don't you
Journey?
get new knees? What did I say? Steve Perry?
Yeah.
Fuck, Steve Tyler.
I finally got one.
Are you happy? You feel better now? Steve Perry. Oh yeah, Steve Perry. I loved him on Dream On. He was really good. And
that is a Unicur moment right there.
That's Steve Perry. Steven Tyler.
Yes.
Steven Tyler was one of the. So there was a period in my life when I watched American Idol, and he was like a judge. And I remember that somebody.
That's sad.
They were talking. What do you mean?
That you watched
Which
American
part?
Idol?
Both parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said something. One of the coolest things I ever heard, where there was this older lady on. She goes, "Well, I'm not as young as I look, and whatever." And he goes, "I'll tell you something. You don't look a day over fabulous." And I thought that's a pretty cool because it's a day over. Is it going to be 50? Is it going to be 40? Goes with fabulous. Boom, Steven Tyler. What up? So that was your Aerosmith beef? Is it you didn't like Love in the Elevator?
No, but I like their older stuff. I think it's great. I was just on earlier today. I was listening to Mama Kin in the car because I was listening to KQ and
Mama Kin?
Mama Kin?
Is that the name of a song?
Yeah, for Aerosmith.
I thought that's what you put lasagna in. That's a ramekin. What'd you say?
Mama Kin.
Steve Perry. How does that go? Sing a few bars. Everyone would love to hear you.
No.
You're the voice of an angel. The voice of a generation. All right, Kentucky Derby's tomorrow. You give a shit or not?
No, I was just reading about the horses that have died. 4 horses have died at the track. And one trainer was barred. And so they got rid of that horse. That horse is barred from running.
One of them died. One of her horses died. That's why it's barred.
I don't think one of their horses, but it wasn't one that was running in the Derby.
Oh, okay.
The trainer, any of the horses that he was training are barred.
It was a she.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a woman. I think. Well, I'm going to make it look bad either way on this one, but. Anyway, so I have
and another horse was disqualified, and so they had to find 2 other ones.
So I bet on. So there are 20 horses. Well, there might be very few left, but when I made the bet, wow! I wonder if the mic picked that up. It sounded like I was throwing up there for a sec. And
there's a cloud.
It's only partly true, but. So on the day I placed a bet, which was Thursday, I put a win place show on 6 different horses. This is in my chapter 3 of my book of how not to make money on horse racing. But I bet on a bunch of the long shots because last year I think it was a 50-1 or so won it, the Derby. So in a crowded field, anything can happen. So, but.
Have you looked to see if any of the
one that they mentioned that was scratched was not one of the ones that I.
Well, there was another one that was scratched.
Well,
I'll just take today.
A look at that. Well, I still got.
Or yesterday.
I got 5 more where that came from. So I made a total of $40 in bets because I bet another. So I picked another one to win in place to make 36 plus 4 equals 40. Do the math. Remember how good a student I said I was? But look at me with the times tables. So. And I remember I should have said, I wish my teacher would have said, when I said, when am I ever going to need this stuff? And she'll go, one day there'll be a 20-horse field in the Derby, and you'll only have $40 to you want to wager.
So I used to go to this.
I have to point out that there were a couple of Audies from the neighborhood that went out and made the bets for me. So thanks to them. And I think one of them might be listening to this right now. He's the Audie at the end of the block as you go into the neighborhood, and he also takes care of my yard. But I don't want to say his name.
Oh,
Audie. So he's
that
an
wasn't
Audie.
the one I was thinking of, but
Well, there's another Audie that drove him there, and you know who that Audie is. That Audie gambles a little,
okay.
and he has a pool.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I. Have you been to Canterbury? Well, no, yeah.
I go to Canterbury a couple times a year. Yeah,
Oh,
you want to come with?
yeah. I used to do this. It was a Native American. What do you do when you try to raise money for things? And they had a silent auction.
Oh, fundraiser.
Yeah, or yeah.
What do you call that thing when you raise funds for something?
It's on the tip
I
of
don't
my
know.
tongue.
It's a code. It's I'm a good student, but anyway. So a fundraiser, and you did what? You
Oh,
bought
I
something, or
would
you-
always bid on these Canterbury Park tickets, and it was for the buffet and a night there.
I've never eaten the buffet. I'm not a buffet guy, unless I gotta be.
We were up in the box area, and you phrasing.
Up in the box area. That's wow.
But it's very nice. And, the couple times I've been there, I haven't lost.
On betting the ponies.
Yes.
Really? Well, let's go. So a couple of buddies of mine that I used to work with, we go out at least once a year, and I'll let you know when we go, and you can come out with me.
But I've bet and not lost. How much money do you think I've won?
Fucking with you, $7 or $8.
It was a little bit higher than that, like $24.
Wow. Well, hey,
It's like betting a dog. Have you ever gone to dog races?
I have gone to the dog. That's
You don't make anything.
chaos. Yeah, that's like playing Pai Gow. That's a whole nother episode. So anyway, we're coming up on time here, there, Mr. Mark, and I'm trying to think if there's anything we left out.
Well, we can cover it next time.
Yeah, of course. So the deal is this: is that we're actually kind of gaining some listeners in that, and I think I'm pretty close to maybe putting it on my Facebook. Once we see how this music sounds, it'll sound a little more professional, a little more polished or whatever. But this is episode 6. Who knew? I mean, this is like a little over a month ago. You said we got to try this, and we've been at this almost every week. So
We're
been
3
fun.
mics in, so we're committed.
We are 3 mics in. We soon will introduce guests and things like that. So anyway, if you do listen and you, we're pretty accessible. I'm surprised we were able to get a round of golf in today, or 9 holes, without being mobbed. But somehow we still get our privacy. So that's fun.
And again,
That was a joke. How come no love? Anyway.
again, if you have suggestions or want us to talk about something or want to be on, just email us at TheAscertainers@gmail.com.
Yes. My concern is that the people that listen to the show can't pull off ascertainers or don't have the internet. Oh, wait, they would have to have the internet to... See, I'm doing to our listeners what I do to you, and they may not appreciate it as much as you do.
I'm used to it, but our listening audience is not.
I apologize. One day we'll look back on this and laugh. And I can't wait to hear that. I think that it's going to sound like a power went out in my head. And I think my heart, I think the power did go off for a little bit. I was laughing so hard at that one thing. So anyway, we appreciate you. I hope you have a great, whatever. Please come on Friday. Have a great weekend. Or if you're listening on a Monday, have a great Tuesday. If you're listening on a Tuesday, you know how this goes. You guys can figure that out. But that's all I got there, me boy.
Nope. Thank you.